Okay, 2033, good luck. Let's open with knight f3 as per usual. So we have no head-to-head score there. Opponent, 18,000 games of rapid. That's a lot of rapid chess. That's a lot of rapid by anyone's standards. You get a bit longer in rapid to make your first move. So he goes d4, so c4 is the normal reti, but I think I'll mix it up this game and I'll play d4. So we just switch to a normal d4 game. Goes c6, so I will challenge the center then. We'll just bring the knight up. I could still do this sort of approach. We could still go for that. Let's play a4 here to try and help deal with the pawn push. We still just want to try and get castled, then worry about what to do. So I've got to figure out, am I going to bring the bishop up or just push the pawn? Am I going to do the bishop this way? So he wants to challenge. That's an unusual move. I'm not familiar with that. I guess I have to go e3 now then. There's no point trying to bring the bishop up here when you've got a storm coming. Is he trying to really defend this pawn? Well, I guess I've got knight up and just attack it immediately. I don't think you're going to go here, surely. But I've got queen up is probably a bit more direct. Let's bring the queen up to try and guard it. And then we're getting off this file as well, so if he pushes, we've got a nice option to take and we don't have to trade the queen. But down now takes, and it gets a little bit messy, but we could just get castled, then worry about what to do. We've got queen up as well if the diagonal opens. I mean, I guess you've got bishop down, but he has indeed tried to guard it, so let's take then. This seems a little bit bold to me, a little bit bold. But it might work, of course. Let's develop the knight and attack this pawn and see if he pushes on and unguards this one. He doesn't. So can we push on here now? Is that just a bit silly as well? I've got queen here now, haven't I? And I can attack the rook and the bishop. What does he do? Because he doesn't have a move here now. So is queen up a move? Well, his bishop's already guarded by his queen. So if I play queen up, he doesn't have knight here, but he does have knight here. But does that then allow knight takes pawn? Am I missing some trick here? Possibly, but here, knight here. If knight takes, has he got a move like f5? But the rook would be under attack, right? No, that's right. If I go here, he can't play knight here, the rook's under attack. So here, how does he guard his rook? He's got queen here, and then I push, right? I think queen up's a move. I'm just going to play it. It feels like one of them positions where you're missing something obvious. And if I am, I am. Excuse me, but can't I just push here now? If he drops back, I take. My queen's guarded. Let's push. So he takes. So what about knight takes versus queen takes? I just like queen takes myself. Keep it simple. We're threatening a check here as well. But if I go with the knight, my queen's then not guarded. Let's go with the queen, keep it more simple. We're threatening a check. We hit the rook and the pawn. So he can easily move his knight, of course. So he's moved the king, but now we've got a check and we win the rook anyway, right? It's been a horror show from black. It's just been a horror show, hasn't it? He'll have to guard his knight. He could still win the game, of course. I could still mess this up. So he sees that. I guess I just need to get castle, don't I? I could go here and challenge this immediately, but... Or what about here? King down, I retreat. I'm going to retreat anyway, so let's make sure we can castle and just drop the rook back. So he's come up, we'll castle. Now he's played bishop up. I need to think of getting my rook back soon then. But what about pawn up here now? No, that's no good. Pawn up 1 could be, because if he moves, I take here. And if he takes here, I take. So let's challenge that pawn. Try and get our pieces active. That's what we're trying to do. But he has got extra pawns, hasn't he? So it's still quite balanced, actually. Rook, bishop, knight, knight. Rook. Oh no, I'm a rook up, aren't I? Rook, bishop, knight, bishop. But I've got an extra spare rook. So I could maybe sack the rook here. It's just whether I can deal with these outside pawns, then it should be winning. He's taken there, so I think I should just take here now. It then restricts this knight, but can we deal with this? He's brought his other knight up. We've got to get this pawn. So what about bishop back immediately? Now I can check here, and he's got a square here. I don't think I need to do that. I think I need to play bishop back, but I've also got knight across to hit the pawn. So does it matter? This one is restricting this knight. So maybe knight back to hit the pawn, and we attack the bishop. If he pushes, we take. I don't see how he guards it, but is there a trick? Here, knight forward. Take, knight forward. It seems like a move. I'm going to go here. Try and hit the pawn, hit the bishop. I've just got these two to get rid of, and I'm straight rook up, aren't I? So, is there a trick here? Do I have to sack? If I have to sack, it's still not that bad. If I come here, down is fine, right? So let's come back, hit the pawn. I am 2 minutes down on the clock, though. So he has indeed played that knight move, but we get to take and attack his bishop, right? So we're threatening to take with a check. So knight in, we can take with a check, and then we can drop back, I think. There is a check threat, but it doesn't win anything. So let's get rid of his bishop, and then maybe drop back. I don't see any other trick there. It lets the other knight into play now, but bishop up and activate the rook seems good. Give my king an emergency square. Don't move the pawn like a bishop. But bishop here as well to attack the pawn. It's a tempo. You develop a piece and attack at the same time. So he's come forward. But what about this or this then? If I go here, where's the knight going to go? Here. Rook across. It seems strong. Covers this. He's got back. Yeah, I think I go here and attack the knight. I guess he'll go here, and he's done that instantly. So I can activate the rook and challenge the open file now. Threaten a check. He'll play knight back. I can check anywhere. But it's a development move, isn't it? I'm only one blunder away from it being balanced again, though. Maybe I should think about giving up a rook for the knight, and then I'm just a clean bishop up. There's two bishops against the knight. Oh, he's gone back that side. But that allows me to get a development move and attack the knight and give my king an emergency square. And if he goes either of these, we just take, and if he comes back here, he loses it. So it's just game over. He's just walked into a trap there. It's one of them you stumble into, isn't it? But the knight suddenly can't retreat, and if you go back as a check, but just gone horribly wrong for black early on there. Let's just see how it happened. Pause so we don't accidentally start another game. 26 moves. They're the move times for both players. He's playing it really quickly, really quick for a rapid game. So one of the principles in chess, generally, you need to try and play at the right speed for the time control that you're playing, or you've always got more risk than it will go wrong. It doesn't mean it can't work, of course, but it could go wrong. But have we made any mistakes here? Have we played a good game? That's what we're trying to see. We have played a good game. 96 versus 86, but there's only a few moves that are mistakes. We just played a very good, solid game, but he's gone wrong really early on with this blunder, just f6. To be fair, for us amateur players, you can, of course, get out of your own theory very early in a game. So knight f6 was the correct move here. f6 is already +2. So obviously I've tried to win this pawn back, then bishop up, queen up just to hit the pawn, knight up here, and he's made a mistake with queen to b6, and is that basically the last of them, isn't it? We've made a slight inaccuracy here, but then we found a way to win the piece, then we've won the rook for the knight, so we're just a clean rook up now, and it's basically trying to deal with this problem. If we can get rid of all of these pawns, it's just a clean rook up. It should be good. So that's what I was trying to do here. And obviously not blunder anything at the same time. Got a piece off the board, developed our pieces. Then the knight just walks into a nice little net there where there's no escape squares, like we say, to go to. Because the bishop covers everything. So a little bit of luck thrown in with that one, but still a good win.